Now at 7 o'clock on WKYT this morning, friends and family will be gathering today for the funeral of a pregnant woman who was shot and killed in Lexington. Police now know the name of a woman who was killed in a crash in Scott County. And a Richmond police officer killed in the line of duty will be honored in a special way. That's coming up on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Chamberlain. Thanks so much for joining us on this Saturday, September 17th. Meteorologist Mike Linden is joining us, and he's saying today's going to be a gross day. I don't like that word, Mike.
Well, I mean, that's what Mother Nature's serving up to us today. And of course, with so much football going on in the Bluegrass State today, what we need is good weather. But it doesn't look like that's what we're going to see moving forward into the afternoon today. So the cloud cover is building already over central Kentucky. It's not going to be the prettiest day today. And then you look to the west, and it's very quickly going to become a wet and stormy day. Of course, Louisville plays Florida State at noon today, and the Wildcats kick off against New Mexico State later this afternoon. But as you can see here, as we widen things out, a pretty strong cold front that has a home in Canada stretching all the way into Oklahoma is working its way eastward into the bluegrass as warm air fuels thunderstorms out ahead of it. That's what our Saturday as a whole looks like. And in fact, that's what Sunday looks like too. Overall, not the prettiest of weekends. But coming up, I'll take you through your Saturday. And if you are planning on going to the football game at Commonwealth Stadium, I'll take you hour by hour, show you when the storms get here and how long they'll stick around for.
Thank you, Mike. Family and friends will be in one place today to say one final goodbye to Mariah Coleman. She was killed more than a week ago, along with her unborn baby, in a shooting off Winburn Drive in Lexington. WKYT's Mike Byers live in Lexington with more information about her service. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Michelle. It'll be an emotional scene this morning when family and friends say their final goodbye to Mariah Coleman and her unborn child. Her visitation is set for 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. today. The funeral will follow the wake. A memorial sits outside the apartment along Winburn Drive, where many have stopped by to pay their respects. There are balloons, signs, and flowers that mark the area where the mother-to-be and her unborn baby Jacoby lost their lives. Coleman, who was walking her dog outside along Winburn Drive when she was shot, is being remembered for her fun, loving personality and her laugh that could be picked out from a crowd. Now, as loved ones deal with the loss of Coleman and their newest family members, police continue to try to track down the person or group responsible. Anyone with information is urged to contact police at 859-258-3600. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Our thoughts are with her family and friends this morning. New this morning, we're tracking a story in Philadelphia. Police there are investigating a shooting that injured 6 people, including police officers. Police say the suspect is dead after shooting and injuring 2 police officers. 4 other civilians were also injured in the shooting near the University of Pennsylvania's campus. We're told the officers are stable this morning. Police say the suspect walked up to a police officer's car and started shooting. He led police on a wild chase across the city, including using people as shields before being killed. The suspect's name has not been released. Back here in Kentucky, police have identified a woman killed in a crash in Scott County. Police say Kim Smith of Georgetown was killed when a garbage truck went left off the center lane and struck her car. The truck also hit another garbage truck in the collision off US 25 in Georgetown. Police say the truck was going to the landfill when the driver overcorrected and crashed. Diesel and hydraulic fuel was spilled into the roadway. Neighbors say that stretch of the roadway is very dangerous.
Turning out of our subdivision, our little court area here is very scary, turning left. So you have to look, and then pray nobody's flying over that hill.
US 25 was closed for the majority of the day yesterday, while crews cleaned up not only the wreck, but parts of the damaged road. One of the 3 people charged in the murder of a National Guardsman is also wanted on a warrant in Tennessee. We talked with a woman from Tennessee who tells us that Jeremy Harris is wanted in that state for trying to kill her brother. Shelby County, Tennessee officials confirm that they have an active warrant out for Harris's arrest for attempted murder. Chance Thomas says Harris was a family friend, but he later tried to rob her brother and then shot him. Her brother survived, but she wants Harris to face charges for what he has done.
I hope that he gets what he deserves. Justice there has been served, but I also want closure for my brother.
Harris is due back in court on Thursday in Lexington on his murder charge in the death of Trevor Dilger. The case against a Mississippi man accused of killing 2 nuns is going to a grand jury. Police said in a preliminary hearing that Rodney Sanders admitted to stabbing the nuns to death in their home. Sanders is charged with capital murder in the deaths of sisters Paula Merrill and Margaret Held. Merrill was a member of the Sisters of Charity of Nazareth based in Nelson County, Kentucky. A former Richmond police officer killed in the line of duty is set to be honored next month. Former officer Daniel Ellis was killed nearly a year ago, and now another officer is trying to keep his name alive. Former Richmond officer Dana Overall will be competing in the Ironman Louisville Triathlon next month. While there, his race number on his bib will be the same as Officer Ellis's badge number. Overall says Officer Ellis was one of a kind.
This world was a better place with Daniel Ellis in it. This world needs more Daniel Ellises in it. And so if I can honor his legacy even for a day by doing this, then it's worth it.
The Ironman competition is October 9th. Registration will also be kicking off on October 1st for the second Daniel Ellis Memorial 5K. More than 1,500 participated in the first one back in March. A major gas pipeline has been shut down in Alabama, meaning your gas prices could go up. The Colonial Pipeline Company closed down a pipeline that's been leaking. It sends gas from the Texas Gulf Coast to the southeast. Experts say supply distributions would be first felt in Tennessee, the Carolinas, Georgia, and Alabama. Tennessee's governor declared a state of emergency to keep a fuel supply open. Donald Trump dismissed claims he's a racist on the same day he abandoned his view that President Obama was born on foreign soil. Craig Boswell has the latest on campaign 2016.
Welcome to all of you deplorables.
Donald Trump accused Democrats of playing the race card hours after reversing his stance on the birther controversy.
When they're in trouble, they always pull out the racist word. And they are in very big trouble, I have to tell you.
Earlier, Trump abandoned his contention that President Obama was not born on U.S. soil.
President Barack Obama was born in the United States, period.
He also falsely accused Hillary Clinton of starting the controversy during her 2008 campaign, then took credit for ending it.
I finished it.
His comments set off a firestorm.
He is feeding into the worst impulses.
Angry members of the Congressional Black Caucus labeled Trump a disgusting fraud.
Donald Trump is nothing more than a two-bit racial arsonist.
As for the president,
I was pretty confident about where I was born. I think most people were as well.
Trump used his big announcement about the birther controversy to promote his new hotel here in Washington, D.C., just blocks from the White House, but he wouldn't allow reporters inside. A new CBS News New York Times poll shows Clinton has a 13-point lead among women, but 53% of female voters don't think Trump respects women much. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
Trump also again called for Clinton's Secret Service agents to be stripped of their weapons, saying, quote, "Let's see what happens to her." Well, it's Saturday, which means there'll be quite a few events going on around central Kentucky. Here's a look at what's happening in our area today. First, there is the 2016 Bourbon County Secretariat Festival going on in Paris. The 9th annual festival is on day 2. Events will be held on Main Street. The final day of the event will be tomorrow. Over in McCreary County, you can check out the final day of the Blazing Bluegrass Festival. It's being held at the Sandhill 4-H camp in Whitley City. The festival starts at 11 o'clock this morning and runs until 10 o'clock tonight. Admission is $15 for adults, and there will be 4 bands playing throughout the day, including the C.F. Bailey and Shadow Ridge Band. Your time now is 7:09 on this Saturday morning. There's plenty of news coming up on WKYT this morning. New technology about leaving children in hot cars could turn into a law. Details on that coming up in 10 minutes. And police in Philadelphia are looking for people stealing numbers. But why? That's coming up after the break.
And right now across Kentucky, things are calm. It's a little gray, but it's overall starting off quite nicely. It's once we get into the afternoon that things begin to change. I'll show you why Saturday is bound to be pretty active coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Mike Linden.
Saturday is here, and so are the storms. Of course, it's all timed up well, right? With football going on across the Bluegrass today, with Louisville kicking off at noon and UK kicking off at 4 o'clock. This is what Mother Nature's serving up to us. Some gray skies now, but soon to become wet and stormy as we get into the afternoon. That's all part of a very large cold front tracking its way eastward and just fueling itself with the warm air from the south out ahead of it. Notice all those storms from Chicago all the way south into Memphis. We're looking at a line of thunderstorms moving in to the Bluegrass. Again, this will be the case all weekend long as this front tracks its way eastward very slowly. As long as it continues to get fueled by that warm air from the south, we will continue to find the thunderstorms. We're not going to see them yet. We have to wait until the afternoon today to begin to see the showers and storms kicking off. As you just saw, they're right now sitting over the Owensboro area. And with that front moving slowly, we're looking at the afternoon as the most likely time that we will see those storms here in Lexington. So if you're heading to Commonwealth to tailgate, or if you're heading to the game itself for kickoff, it's pretty much during that window of time that we are looking at the showers and storms beginning as they work their way eastward. So let's put them in motion here on the hour-by-hour forecast. We'll start you off at 8 o'clock this morning. And as we advance into the afternoon today, notice this is 2 o'clock. That front still just getting into Lexington at that time. Of course, if you're heading west for the Louisville game, you're already going to see those storms through the morning hours. But in Lexington, if you're heading to Commonwealth, this is 2 o'clock, mind you. So if you're still tailgating, just be sure to bring that poncho, whatever you need to keep yourself dry. We are looking at the storms arriving likely during that window of time. This is later this evening, 6 o'clock. Those storms tracking their way eastward. And by midnight tonight, that front sitting right over top of Madison County, Boyle County, Mercer County. Again, a slow mover, this front, working its way eastward and sitting over the southeastern mountains as we get into Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon could still be looking at a few storms on the backside of that front, but for the most part, once that front exits to the east of us, there goes the cloud cover and there goes the moisture as well. Things really improving as we get into the upcoming work week. So as we look at our chances of rain here over the next 7 days, it's really just this hurdle, this weekend, that we have to get over before things open up and look fantastic for the upcoming work week. Again, maybe not the prettiest weather for football out there today, but hey, it's football, and you got to be ready, I guess, for all conditions. And today, you're really going to be looking at a messy one. The storms kicking off this afternoon, as does the football. We're looking at lots of lightning potentially with a few of these storms. Not necessarily anything severe, although that is something that we will have to watch because a few of these storms do indeed have the potential to become strong. Sunday, mainly just some leftover storms through the morning hours. And then for the upcoming work week, Michelle, look at Thursday there, the first day of fall, 86 degrees. So not really feeling much like fall, but fall officially gets here in less than a week.
We'll take it. So police in Philadelphia, this is an odd crime. They're trying to figure out why thieves are stealing very specific items from their homes.
Okay, so police say surveillance video captured these thieves taking zeros and ones from the address number on their homes.
Look, she just grabbed it.
Police say it
like
appears...
it was no big deal.
Yeah, police say it appears there are no patterns to the crime as some houses are left untouched. More than 12 people have had these numbers taken, and one neighbor calls the person the binary bandit. Police say if caught, the criminals could face theft and criminal trespassing charges.
As they should. But you know, some of the neighbors are wondering, why is this person stealing ones and zeros? They're speculating that it could be an art project that pops up.
I mean, my first thought was, okay, it's got to be something binary, something kind of odd, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't even understand binary. I mean, 1 0 1 1 0 1
I actually tried to look it up. I was like, that's over my head.
Yeah, whatever. Hopefully they get their numbers back, though.
We'll see. We've got more news coming up on this Saturday morning when we come back. Have you ever left your child in the back seat of your car? A new technology could come out that's going to warn you. Welcome back to WKYT this morning. This next story is very important for parents with young kids. Every year, young children die when they are left in a hot car. But new technologies are being developed to warn drivers that a child is in the back seat. And now a group of lawmakers is proposing legislation that would require automakers to install those warning systems in cars. Mark Albert has the story.
Chase Harrison died in 2008 when his dad forgot to drop him at daycare and went to work, leaving the toddler for hours in his hot car. Now Father Miles Harrison is pleading for help.
I could considered myself guilty and full of shame and anger. I cry every day for Chase. If there had been a simple chime to alert me of my son's presence, none of this would have happened.
The families are the most motivating factor.
On Thursday, Congressman Tim Ryan of Ohio and 2 other lawmakers from both parties introduced the Hot Cars Act, which stands for Helping Overcome Trauma for Children Alone in Rear Seats. The act would require automakers to install technology warning drivers when a passenger remains in the back seat.
These are really senseless deaths of young people that are just so tragic. I think we need to step up and fix it now.
29 children have already died this year after being left in a hot vehicle.
On an 80-degree day, the temperature inside a closed car can reach between 130 and 172 degrees, according to the Centers for Disease Control.
General Motors has already developed its own warning system, which it will include on next year's Acadia model. The system is activated when the back door is opened, making the car believe something is in the back seat. Congressman Ryan hopes to pass the Hot Cars Act before the end of the year. Mark Albert, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Your time now is 7:21. There's still more to come on WKYT this morning. Sports is next.
Well, here we go. The weekend is here, but the stormy weather is back again. As we get started early this morning, we're finding the cloud cover slowly filling in from the west. There's so much football going on in the Bluegrass today. The Louisville Cardinals kick off against the Florida State Seminoles at noon today, and then a little later at 4 o'clock, the Wildcats take on the New Mexico State Aggies. All in all, though, it looks like a better day to run the football than pass because that stormy weather is working its way in from the west. We're looking at winds, some pretty heavy rainfall, and plenty of lightning as well. Warm air continues to fuel that front as it works its way in from the west, and it's slow moving as well. If you're heading to Commonwealth Stadium for the game today, tailgate time, that's when things are really going to be the most muddled. We're looking at the skies becoming cloudier. The rainfall starting to roll in, but then as we get into the afternoon around 2, 3 o'clock, and then for kickoff at 4, that's when the thunderstorms will begin to fire up. This isn't going to be an all-day rain, but it is going to be quite heavy when it does rain. For the drive home as well, that's when those storms continue to stick around, as again, this front moves very slowly eastward. So if you're heading toward the southeast, you're pretty much following those storms on the drive home. Otherwise, if you are heading to the game today, be sure to bring that jacket with you, an umbrella, a poncho, whatever you need to keep yourself dry. And of course, let's hope for a Wildcats win, even through all of these adverse conditions. Speaking of the Wildcats, here's Lee Kay.
Well, the Kentucky offense was just about non-existent last weekend in Florida, and the Cats, they hope to get on track later this afternoon when they get back at home against New Mexico State. Quarterback Drew Barker completed just 2 passes. He was intercepted 3 times a week ago. That's what you would call a confidence killer. But Barker said earlier this week, everyone on the offense remains confident.
I mean, I think we have good confidence right now. We've had a great 2 days of practice. We know we can be explosive, so I'm not worried about that at all with anybody. I mean, this is going to be a big week. We got to go out there and get a win, and you know, if we play our game and like we know we can, and limit turnovers and you know, sustain drives and be great on 3rd down, I think we'll have a great chance of winning.
He's been good. He's been good. He's been you know, working hard and had a good week of practice, and I anticipate that he'll bounce back well.
And that game is this afternoon at 4 o'clock. You can see it on the SEC Network alternate channel. If you're in Lexington and have Time Warner Cable, you can find it on channel 518. Hard to believe, though, but we're now just less than 4 weeks away from the official start to the UK basketball season. That, of course, is Big Blue Madness at Rupp Arena. On Thursday, the Cats hosted Photo Day, and then on Friday, they were hanging out and handing out backpacks at Picadome Elementary. The players say that the excitement is building and they're ready to get their season started.
We're getting close. I mean, you know, Madness is coming up, waiting on that. We're really excited for that. I'm sure Fox and the new guys are really excited to see just how crazy it gets.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what the date is. Every time I see somebody tweet it, then it's like, oh, it's that many days? Like, I think it was 30 days yesterday.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember the dates, but when it gets here, I'm just gonna live in the moment.
I'm sure somebody will let De'Aaron Fox know that date before it comes around. That'll do it for your morning sports. Have a great day.